my channel, or welcome back if you're already part of the Sprinkle Squad. I'm so happy to see you again. And actually, on that note, welcome to all of my new Sprinkle Squad members. I feel like we have a lot of new people that have joined us recently, so I just wanted to say a special hello and, welcome. And we're really happy that you're here, and I hope you're doing totally wonderful. I mean, honestly, I'm hoping everyone's doing wonderful. Like, let's just be honest. Like, everyone, I hope, is doing wonderful. But anyways, I just wanted to do a special shout out to all of our new Sprinkle Squad members, and today we have another speed build for The Sims 4, so like the usual. And I don't know why, but I decided that I really wanted to make a coastal like beach house build. I don't exactly know what inspired me to do that. Like, I don't know if I was just thinking of my own vacation dreams at the moment. It's like getting warmer here, and maybe I'm just channeling that energy, like I want to go somewhere. But at the same time, I'm not actually a beach person, so I don't know. I don't know, like if I was going to go on a vacation right now, I don't know if it would be to the beach, honestly. I'm one of those people that I just burn when I go outside. Like if I'm in the sun, no matter like the SPF, I always burn. Like it's really miserable for me. So if I were to go to the beach, I'd want to go when it's cooler, and honestly just probably not even get in the ocean. But like, let me know, like what kind of vacation person are you? Or are you just like all of the above? Like, are you more of a cold, maybe mountainy person? Or are you a like beachy, warm weather kind of vacation person? I'm just curious. Like, for me, I mean, I honestly, like if somebody was like, okay, I'm gonna take you to the beach, like I'd be like, great, let's go. But I guess if I was planning my own vacation, I would probably go like to the mountains or something. So we actually did that for a few years over the summer. My whole family, we went, and I guess really it kind of started during 2020 when nobody was leaving the house. So that was our way of actually going on a vacation, and then we just didn't leave the cabin the whole time. We were just on that mountain except to go grocery shopping, which honestly was a whole lot of fun. So I guess like maybe I'm channeling that kind of energy with this house. And I've uploaded this to the gallery under my ID, Spice and Sprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And I will say it is uploaded as a just like regular like home lot. And you can, however, change it to a vacation home, so a rental, which you're more than welcome to do so if you download it. It's just totally up to you how you want to use the house. And honestly, I guess really I had in mind it being a vacation home because, come to think of it, I don't think I actually put a computer or a desk anywhere in this house, which I usually do, especially when I'm doing just like a regular home, because it's just so important to have for your Sims. Now, having said that, this house is so big, you can very, very easily add one in if you would like to. And if you need one, you can honestly, there's a bunch of even like table and counter space. You could just throw like a laptop there on the counter once we like do the kitchen. You'll see what I mean. There's just plenty of room. There's even like a breakfast nook, so there's no shortage of room for that. And this actually ends up being a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. I feel like I always expect there to be more bedrooms than there are bathrooms. I don't know why. So anyways, I just like totally confused myself. But 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. And I also figured, if your Sim's on vacation, maybe they have people over, that kind of thing. So there's a bunch of seating, like just all kinds of things to do. And I figured, more bathrooms, that's like better in The Sims just in general. And you can see I struggled, I mean, honestly, quite a bit trying to figure out what I really wanted this to look like. I basically, and for a lot of builds I do, like if I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a beach build, or like the one I'm working on a castle right now that hopefully will be up next week. That is the goal as soon as I can get it done, since it's going to be quite large. But I usually just like Google whatever it is that I'm trying to build, and then kind of looking at all the pictures that come up, I kind of pick and choose things that I like from all of them and just kind of make a build based on that. So that's kind of what I ended up doing. I saw some builds, a lot of them had, I say builds, like they're Sims 4 builds. I saw a lot of beach houses that had this like grand stair entrance like this. So I was like, oh, that would be fun. And then like I saw one that had like the double-sided one, which I thought was cool, and all that kind of stuff. And of course, a lot of them have a garage there on the bottom, which is what I originally started doing, but I do end up taking that out. So originally I had this Snowy Escape door there, which is honestly a really cool like fake garage door to use, which is like something like I like to mention these things in case you're ever looking for that kind of item. But I end up swapping it out for, I think it's the Desert Luxe window, like like that big one that kind of leans out, and put that there because I actually end up making that a bedroom. So I figure I kind of wanted to actually have a window there instead, and I think it kind of looks, you know, very similar on the front of the house. And I opted not to put a car on this lot, which again I like to do if I'm really trying to be realistic. And you can see I'm really trying to do a lot of that like light blue, light tan, just like that coastal feel, which honestly I struggled here, especially at the beginning in this kitchen area, because I started with these cabinets and ultimately I started feeling like maybe the cabinets were a little bit dark for what I was honestly going for. And as I went like through decorating, I did pull in a little more like light tan color, which I think helped too, because just this straight like white and blue can be actually like, especially when you're doing like a light blue, it kind of all blends together. But I did use some really pretty tile in here, which I was really excited about. And I use it later on too, out on like our underneath the house, that like stilted portion. We have like a pool out there and everything. This honestly is a really cool vacation home. I would honestly love to come here and like hang out, but we end up using that outside as well, which I thought was kind of fun. But swapping it to the like white cabinetry I think worked really well. And then I ended up just kind of skipping forward. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna do that a couple times probably throughout the speed build, just because I was so back and forth about things and wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. So I didn't want you to, you know, go through the pain of having to actually watch me go through all of the different options, say for cabinetry, especially since this is already like a 30-minute voiceover. I was here for a while working on this build, which is so funny because I was trying to do something small because again, I've got that castle build I think I mentioned in my last video that I'm trying to finish, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a small build so then I can like get a head start like on trying to finish that castle for next week. But no, instead I ended up with a large house. So I don't know what's happening. Like, I feel like I'm doing like big builds and I keep intending to do small ones. Like the castle that will be coming out was supposed to be a tiny one. It very much so is not. Like, so I'm really excited to share that with you once I'm finished. But you can see I'm just adding a little like final touches here in the kitchen. And I will say, don't worry, there will be a fruit bowl. I put the fruit bowl over in the breakfast nook on the little table in there. And in case you're new, which I feel like we have some new people, my mom, Mama Spicy, who is actually my mom. So if you see her in the comments, be nice to her. That is actually my mom. She actually will stream with me and stuff sometimes. And it's actually really funny too, or if she'll sit with me while I build. But it is a requirement that all of my builds have a fruit bowl. Like, that is something she requires of all of my builds. So I always have a fruit bowl. Like, literally, she looks for it when she watches my speed builds. Like, and I'm so grateful that she does actually like support me in doing like these YouTube videos and everything. And, you know, so it's really nice to have her watching my videos. But literally, she'll be like, so, you know, in your last build, I was wondering, you know, I was getting worried that there wasn't going to be a fruit bowl. So like she is looking for that fruit bowl. So I think that's so funny. So if you ever notice that I like mention it for whatever reason, that's why. It's because my mom will be looking for it. And I also know that there are people in the Sprinkle Squad that like watch stream and stuff and have actually hung out with Mama Spicy, and they will literally like call me out and be like, where's the fruit bowl? Which is kind of fun. And honestly, like that makes me want to stream again. I really need to like work on getting my life together and like getting my life together. That's really dramatic. Honestly, just kind of settling my schedule. Again, since the move, we've just got so much going on. And actually this month is kind of crazy too, like the month of May. So we have Mother's Day. We also have my husband's birthday, and my husband's actually also going out of town for a week. And it's just a lot going on. like every weekend we've got something going on. We had a friend of ours come visit this past weekend for my husband's birthday and everything, and then we're actually celebrating with our family this coming weekend. And then also because we had someone come over last weekend, we're doing Mother's Day this coming weekend. It's just like, it's a whole thing. Like, it's just, you know, a lot going on, which is, you know, good, right? Like, it's all good things. It's just a lot going on. So I'm actually trying to do this voiceover actually the night before this is actually getting posted. And I was like, oh, I'll just finish this build up today, because I had already started it, but it took me so much longer than I expected. Again, I think I always feel like things aren't going to take me very long, but I always forget how much cluttering and detail I put into my builds. And that's what takes forever, to be honest. Like, that's that's what I'm here doing for the most part. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I really, really do. Like all that stuff I just put in the bathroom, is it necessary? No, but I love it so much. I think it adds so much personality to the space. And I will say too, I wanted to mention that the stairs, I did cut that out, like the whole like floor plan I actually cut out, and the reason for that was because the stairs were giving me such a hard time with the way I actually created the different stories. It was just like, it was a whole thing. Like I did so much experimenting to get them where I wanted them. So I put all the walls in to make sure it all fit properly. And I also like to say that because, you know, if you have issues like figuring out stairs, so do I. That is something that I think a lot of people actually struggle with. And I think also floor plans, like depending on the build, floor plans can also be a real struggle, to be honest. And I actually, so there's a third floor on this, like a little room, and I totally forgot that I needed to put in a ladder to get there. So when I was doing the floor plan, I was like, oh, I will, you know, add it later because I couldn't figure out exactly where I wanted to put it. And then I totally forgot. So basically on the next floor, we end up having a bedroom. And then in that bedroom, you have to have the ladder to go to that next floor. And yeah, I did the whole bedroom. And then I was like, oh, wait. I totally forgot. I need to put in a ladder. So I will also mention that too, that in the screenshots, it does look a little bit different, but that's just because I totally forgot that I needed to put in a ladder. And I did honestly struggle with this living space as well. I was really, because I was going for all these really light colors, like trying to have enough contrast so it still looks good and interesting while still having that really like calm, cool color scheme I was going for was a little bit difficult. And I really liked the idea of having that little table behind the couch, but I think I do actually end up getting rid of it because it didn't work. I went through, and I will say, like, I did cut that out. I went through so many different end tables, couches, rugs, and lamps. It was honestly just insane. And I will say, like, I put the little reading nook under the stairs a little bit earlier, and then I kind of wanted to bring that through into the living room. So it's just like this really cute, like, I just really wanted to be a really relaxing place. So maybe someone who just likes to read and everything comes and just like hangs out here, or the sim that lives here is just really into reading or writing, which is kind of funny. I say maybe they're a writer, but I didn't put a laptop in, and who knows, maybe I'll try to put it on there before I upload it. Like, so I know I said it was uploaded. It'll be uploaded before this goes up, but I technically haven't done it as of this moment. So maybe I'll try to add one because it feels really weird that I didn't put one in. I don't know why. I feel like it's almost like not putting in a trash can or something. It's just, you know, something that your build very often needs. So I don't know. We'll see if I actually end up putting one in there. But like I said, you can easily add one if you want to. Now this space is honestly huge. So we have this like living room area over here. And then on the other side, I basically put some like entertainment, like skill building items. We end up putting like a guitar, a piano, a chess table, and an easel all on that other side, which, you know, honestly, since we only more recently started getting like upright pianos instead of having like, we had, I think, like the grand pianos like forever, but like those are so big that I never used them. But I thought it'd be really fun to include like, you know, one of the upright like stand-up pianos in here. So I thought that'd be really cute. So I do put that over in the corner, and I honestly try to pull in quite a lot of like, not flowers necessarily, but greenery. And I wasn't necessarily anticipating doing that, but I thought it looked really nice in here to do that, which I think I did more greenery like upstairs in that bedroom. And then like, of course, there's plenty of vegetation down by the pool because you know, it's me. I can't help myself. I have to include it. And we do end up actually swapping this rug out. So I end up moving this rug upstairs. I really loved this rug for this space, or for this house, but I was having such a hard time using it. Like, it just didn't fit quite right. Again, I think because the whole thing has such light colors that balancing that with everything else in the room became a little bit difficult for me. So we do end up using it upstairs, so don't worry, it is included there. And I did include the little cross stitch thing. I almost did the knitting thing, but I thought cross stitch would be kind of fun. I don't usually use that item, which of course you can add, you know, the knitting if you would like to. But again, there's just so much here for your Sims to do. And I really tried to put like windows everywhere, like, which of course, you know, caused a little bit of an issue in terms of like really finding place to put stuff, because I didn't want to like them block the windows. So some of the windows got a little bit blocked, but with the nightstands and then the dresser I put over there, and I think it ended up looking really nice in here. And I almost put those little like, what is it? Oh my goodness, what is the new kit we got? I keep wanting to say it's Cool Kitchen. It's not Cool Kitchen. Oh, it's the stuff pack. Anyways, Home Chef Hustle. There it is. Home Chef Hustle. That thing that goes over the counter there. I honestly always forget that it exists. And I thought, maybe I can use it, but it took up so much space. I think it took away from the rest of the kitchen, if that made sense. And I tried, while of course I put clutter, you know, everywhere, I tried not to make this space cluttered, if that makes sense. Like I tried there, you know, for this to be very open, especially if you want to use it for a rental, that maybe there's not like super personal touches here. Like I tried to put like little stacks of towels and toiletries kind of like in places like they were left there for the sim maybe that's renting it, that kind of thing. And I didn't put like a ton of clutter on the nightstands, again thinking that if like someone's renting it, then, you know, there wouldn't be that stuff there unless they put it there themselves. And you can see here, this wall is going to change a little bit. So where the door is right now is where the ladder ends up going for the next floor up. And so I end up putting a mirror somewhere else and just moving that door over. So not a whole ton changes, like, but it does change because it was just really awkward to try to fit in the ladder, and that was kind of the best place for it. But in this bathroom, this ends up being like super huge in here, and I opt for doing the like this giant corner tub, which I thought would be so luxurious and amazing. And I tried to face it to where if your sim was like laying in it, they could see out the window, which I thought would be really nice. And you know, it's The Sims, so it's totally fine if the windows are open, but I did try to put like curtains in here with the idea that your sim could like close the curtains, that kind of thing, for privacy. Although I guess all of these curtains are very sheer, so I don't know how useful they would really be, but it's a good thing it's a sim, so it doesn't actually matter, which again I think is kind of funny. But I end up doing like a double sink in here. I think all of the bathrooms end up with a double sink, which is like kind of insane. That's like way more sinks than you need, but it just felt, it had that extra like luxury factor that I was kind of going for here. So I included like, I think I ended up putting the little bath salts thing over there and a little candle by the tub because I just thought that would be really cute. And then I also end up just putting this really pretty rug in there, and I honestly use that like wicker lighting kind of all over the place, but I just thought it worked really well in here. And so I will say that this rug does go. I do not end up keeping it. I wanted this area to be like, so this is when you come in the door and then you'd go downstairs. And I figured we're going to have a bedroom and a bathroom down here, but we're also going to have this kind of like rec area, since it has like, I used the Desert Luxe doors like that are kind of already open that will lead out to like the patio area with the pool and everything. So I thought it'd be fun to have like a little bar area here, and then I end up putting like the ping pong table, which I thought would be a whole lot of fun. Again, just like thinking about it being like a really cool rental lot, like that your Sims could come and hang out down here. But I think it made a whole lot more sense for me to just use 2 smaller rugs for that area, and I think it made it look a little more cohesive, to be honest. And what I end up doing actually in this bathroom, I end up putting 2 doors, one from this hallway and one actually from the bedroom. I figure it's one of those, like, you know, if you're out at the pool and you need, like, your sim needs to use the restroom, that kind of thing, it's like right there. So you can use that door without having to go through like a bedroom to get there, if that makes sense. So I thought that was kind of nice. And again, like, I feel like this is all just stuff you would think about in real life, not necessarily like applicable in The Sims. But again, I like kind of adding those little touches and kind of explaining why I decided to do things that I do, because I know also people just do things very differently, you know, obviously depending on just your own life experiences, but that's what I ended up doing because I feel like that's honestly super nice if you were to have like a pool and then there's just like a bathroom right there that like your guests can use without having to like go all the way through the house, you know what I mean? Especially if they're like dripping wet from being in the pool. But anyways, this is actually the other bedroom that I was talking about. And so this one I leaned a little bit more into this like rich wood tone, which you'll see kind of come up here in a little bit. And I had trouble kind of, again, finding the blue I was looking for. A lot of the blue in the game is either darker than what I wanted, or it had like, it was a little too bright for what I was kind of envisioning. But I brought this like stone down here that we used in the kitchen, and then brought in the industrial loft rug here, which had a little bit of a darker blue. And I didn't mention it, but I actually included a luggage, like, what am I trying to say? A piece of luggage in both of the bedrooms because I just thought that was like a really nice touch, you know, like your Sims are visiting kind of thing. But of course, if your Sims actually live here, you can get rid of that. That's totally up to you. But I ended up using this horse ranch armoire there. And honestly, ever since recently I did like a farmhouse and used a lot of the horse ranch items, and I'm so happy I did because I totally forgot that item existed, but it's just so pretty, especially in that swatch. And then kind of pairing that with the high school years chair and couch right there honestly came out really well. And I tried to include a lot of plants here. I tried to do some experimenting with trying to put some plant stuff on the wall. It just didn't look quite right. So I think we end up using, I think it's a wall piece from For Rent, I think is the one we end up using. And then just trying to kind of include some more greenery around here as well, because I don't know, I just thought it might be so lush here. And honestly, this one might be my favorite of the two bedrooms. I think this one, I feel like I would want this room if I was staying here, if that makes sense. And we end up just using a shower in here. So we have a bathroom that has like a shower tub combo, and then we have a bathroom with just a tub and a bathroom with just a shower. So your Sims have lots of options here, but I figured especially with the two doors, it just makes the most sense having the shower in there. And I did push the shower just slightly into the wall, which is a trick I like to use if I don't like the walls of the shower that are given. So I feel like, you know, I liked the metal swatch on that, and I like the shower itself, but I didn't like the backing it had. So shoving it into the wall kind of gets rid of it, and it's still totally functional, all of that kind of good stuff. And I try to include these little things and let you know kind of what I did and why I did it in case you ever want to replicate that kind of thing. And up here at the top, this is when I was like, oh no, I forgot. So I put in the ladder, and I actually make this a little gym, which I figured, you know, especially fancy hotels and stuff. I don't know if it's just fancy, but hotels will have a gym and everything while you're staying there. So I thought I would include that here. So it has a weight machine and a treadmill, and we do actually end up having a meditation cushion and a yoga mat out on one of the balconies, and actually one of the balconies that's attached to that bedroom up here. And it was funny, I didn't even think about it, but there are two balconies on that one bedroom, which is honestly super luxurious. And then the person down there, I guess the person on the bottom has the rec room, which is kind of cool, and easy access to the pool and hot tub. So like I said, yeah, I honestly would probably want the bedroom by the pool. Let me know which bedroom you would want if you stayed here. And also my dog is making random noises in the background, so hopefully you don't hear her, but she's I think she's rolling around and just living her best life, which I think is so funny. But luckily only one of them is in here right now, because there is something about if I have all three of them in here, or specifically the other two, when I start doing a voiceover, they start barking every time. It is, I don't know if it's just they hear me talking, so they're oh, okay, we're gonna play, or are you talking to me? And so then they just start barking and stuff. But luckily this one is usually not very vocal when I'm trying to do voiceovers, which I'm very grateful for. So honestly, she usually hangs out with me in my office during the day, and since my husband works from home, the other two a lot of times end up in his office, except for when he has meetings, in which case again they like to bark when he goes into a meeting. So I think it's just when they hear us talking, they just want to talk back, so we have to swap them off because they hang out with us all day. So which is actually really nice that we get to see them kind of all the time. But anyways, I'm totally talking over this whole entire patio, but I actually included like basically a whole kitchen out here. So I used a mini fridge and a sink and a trash can, and then instead of like a stove, we used a grill, which I thought would be really nice. Again, if this was a vacation home, like it really has all of these like amenities. And then kind of pulling in that tile like I mentioned earlier out here, which I think helped break up all of this like very light tile, because I liked it, but it was just a little much. So I think it helped break it up very nicely. And then this hasn't play tested, so your sim shouldn't have any issues doing the things that they need to do. So fingers crossed, like the gallery doesn't like mess that up for you when you download it. But also let me know if you're going to use it. Like, are you going to use this as like a house, or are you going to use this as a rental? Like, I'm just curious. And if you have any ideas, of course, like let me know some things that you might want to see on the channel. Sorry. My dog just was like scratching, so you could hear her like foot like hitting the floor. Oh my goodness. She's like looking at me like, what? Like, are you almost done? Because like I said, I've been building and then went straight into like editing and then like filming this voiceover. So she's kind of like, okay, can we go like do some stuff now? Like, but anyways, so I'm just kind of setting up this really nice like fire pit seating area. And oh my goodness, Duchess, you don't have to like, do you have to scratch like right now? Anyways, I'm hoping you can't hear that. But if you can, that's just what it is here at my house. Just dogs everywhere all the time. But just adding in a lot of like, I just basically used all white flowers, except for I used some like low lying blue ones. I can't remember what pack they're from, although I think they are out of Debug, but I really love kind of layering all of the vegetation that I have. So like using taller stuff and then using like smaller stuff underneath to just really fill it in and everything. And then just adding in some terrain paint as well, I think just kind of gives it a lot of dimension, which is something else too I would recommend if you're someone that's working on your landscaping. Not that mine is like perfect or anything, but using terrain paint can help so much. Like I added a little bit of sand by that back like gate, because I figured that's where they would like go out to the beach kind of thing, so there might be sand there. And then just adding in some flowers out here and just kind of finishing up here with some accents from, I can't remember. So I think that those pieces, I definitely got out of Debug, that fencing, but I think it actually might be from Cats and Dogs. And I try not to just necessarily use Cats and Dogs. This is in Brindleton Bay, so it's in the world for it. But I try not to just fall into like using the stuff for it, which the whole point of this world is pretty coastal, so it kind of has that vibe. But I really wanted to utilize a lot of other stuff that we have in the game, since we have like about 1 billion packs at this point. But I actually ended up just putting some vines on that platform for the stairs, so it didn't just look like a giant white block just sitting there in front of the house, because that was like way too much. And then we actually end up then working on just all of the balconies that I created, which was so funny. I was like, oh, I'm almost done. And then I was like, wait, I have several balconies to work on. And I end up just adding a little bench right here in the front, kind of on the stairs right there, just because like I felt like it needed something. Or, if your sim needs a rest trying to go up the stairs, like they can, hang out there. And honestly, it would probably be really nice to hang out there anyways. And then I ended up on this porch is where I put the yoga mat and the meditation cushion. I just kind of kept it simple. I think I may have put a chair out here as well, along with just a couple of plants. And then I end up on the front balcony attached to this room is where I actually end up putting just like a little 2-seat table, as well as a Don't Wake the Llama table. So again, I tried to pack as much as I could in here for your Sims to do. So if they went on vacation here, they really wouldn't have to leave if they didn't want to, which honestly is kind of like my vacation. Like sometimes it's just really nice to go and rest and relax, like, and not necessarily have to go to a bunch of places. Whereas I know a lot of other people will like to go and like do a bunch of stuff, which is totally cool too. But I like sleeping in and just kind of hanging out, to be honest. And then the last balcony we have here, I end up basically just making this a huge area to hang out and sit. I figured off of that main living area, and it has like that fantastic view that honestly you need to have that out here. I think I also end up putting a bonsai tree out here for your Sims to do that as well. Like the skill building here is just on point. Like there's so much to do here. Your Sim could like vacation here, build build their skills and then like go home. Like maybe that's the whole point of their vacation, is to actually get some skills and then just kind of head out. And then just adding in some final touches here. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.
I saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone. Looked at my phone like every other second. My future was blurry and numb, a tunnel where there's no light. Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took it, you took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together, together is always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted. We jumped off the subway leading nowhere. Your warm hands rubbed off the cold around me. I heard you say that everything is alright, but how did you know how I felt? You saw right through me that day. I was lost.